check it out. Check it out.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Seismic Gaming Solo Raid Competitive Scrim number 8. We've got a pretty interesting matchup here for us today. We've got Team Capitao consisting of Peter, Cloak, Biggie, Turn, and Dentist, going up against Team Clash consisting of Vig, Unfriendly, Genio, Chip, and Stoned. I think that these are pretty balanced teams, and it all pretty much comes down to whether Vig and Genio suck, which they tend to do, especially Vig. The past few scrims, he has really not been delivering what we expect of him. So I personally am worried for how the scrim is going to go just based on that. But apart from that, should Genio and Vig be sort of like in the middle ground and not be absolutely atrocious, I think it should be a pretty even scrim. At least I hope so. Stoned, of course, coming back from a several-month break from Siege and from Seismic, so that's going to be quite a wild card. He might pop off and do really well. He might not. People do various things when they come back from a break, especially one that has been as long as his has been, so I don't think there's really too much to expect there, considering that people are all different, and we shouldn't be like, oh, well, Peter came back from a several-month break and he dropped 21 in the next scrim, so we should expect that. No, we shouldn't expect that from anyone, especially if they tell you that they are going to suck. Then you can expect that they will, in fact, not suck, because he's a big liar who lied to me before about his performance in the game. I think we're about to head into the map bans here rather soon. Of course, for those of you who don't know, we have got quite a what's the word? Modified, I should say, map pool, competitive map pool, consisting of currently only 10 maps because we kicked Clubhouse out of the pool. It was getting kind of boring. I honestly, I wish I'd kicked Oregon out instead. I feel like Oregon is way more boring to watch than Clubhouse is. The Clubhouse was getting kind of played quite a bit. It was out of commission for 2 scrims last season, or this season already. Which, if you don't know, we have a rule that the 2 most recently played maps are out of the map pool for that current scrim, just to keep things fresh and to keep maps from repeating all the time. And that happened with Clubhouse twice, so I was like, okay, maybe we're playing a little bit too much Clubhouse. Let's try and play some of these less wanted maps. Like the consulate that has been banned out rather quickly by Team Capitao. Fronted by Peter. There goes Border coming out from Team Clash. You know, so far I don't mind these bans. I'm so happy the consulate is out. I fucking hate playing it. I hate casting it even more. So the fact that I don't have to look at it at all is a great sign. Border, I don't really care that much about having 0% win percentage on it this season, so I guess I'm happy I don't have to look at it and see how people who can win games play on it. Canal comes out next. Unsurprising, people in Seismic have a serious problem with the map Canal. I don't know why. It's a brilliant map. I enjoy it quite a lot, but they just don't, so there's that. And after that, Emerald Plains comes out. I understand why people magically are still not used to it, despite the map being in the game for nearly a year at this point. But I don't think that it's a bad map. I think that's a pretty decent map. But I think out of the maps that we have here, I think it's one of the better maps. But you know, I'm not the one playing, so I guess I'm not the one complaining either. Villa comes out next. That is a quite surprising one. I didn't expect them to want to ban out Villa. Villa, I feel like, is one of the more liked maps in Seismic, and I felt that maybe Coastline would have come out sooner, especially from Team Capitao. They would probably not want to bring Genio and Vig to such a frag-heavy map such as Coastline, but they're leaving it up pretty much to the end, which is concerning a little bit, but I guess if they're confident, then there's really nothing stopping them from making that choice for themselves. Oregon Outback Coastline are the ones left. I really would want to not see Oregon be here. I would really hate that. Of course, also in the map pool, but currently out for this scrim are Chalet and Skyscraper. Outback goes out next, and I would really love to see Coastline. We haven't had a Coastline scrim in months. The last time I remember there being a Coastline scrim was like summer of 2022, so that was like months ago, at minimum 6 months ago. So I do not want to see. I would want to see a Coastline scrim, and I do not want to see another Oregon scrim. We had one recently, and it basically made its way through into being in the map pool again, pretty much on a coin flip. So hopefully we do get to see Coastline, but I do think that, considering that it is Team Capitao's ban, that they will end up banning Oregon. They will end up banning Coastline. Wow, and I was completely fucking wrong. They banned out Oregon instead, and we do get to see Coastline. Well, that's a pretty big deal. We haven't had a Coastline scrim in a long time. Jordan, if you're watching this one's for you. We haven't had a Coastline scrim in fucking forever, so you better keep those. You better keep track of those stats. You know. Coastline, we're just waiting to see where Team Clash decides to start out on, whether they want to start out on attack or defense. I think you'd probably want to start out on attack on Coastline. They do decide to start out on defense instead, so I guess I'm wrong in my prediction. But I don't care about being wrong, because at least we do get to see Coastline, which is quite a rare sight. And it was set up to see as we're slowly setting up for to start this game with the lobby and everything. It will be rather interesting. It'll be a rather interesting game, I think. I think all eyes at the moment are on Peter and Big. They are widely known as our top fraggers and as our best players, so I would expect them to do seriously well here tonight. But you know, you never know. So I think all eyes are on Peter and Big, and then also on Cloak and Genio, who somewhat recently, not recently at all, actually had not a competitive, but a rivalry scrim between themselves, which Cloak ended up coming out on top of. So I guess we'll have to wait and see how they pair up against each other. And without further ado, we are heading into Coastline. Team Capitao versus Team Clash. It'll be a match for the ages. Competitive scrim number 8. Here we go. Team Clash starting out the bans, of course, being the defensive side. Starting out the ban very quickly with drum roll, please. I started way too early. Jackal. Makes sense. It's Coastline. You do not want to get tracked, but you also don't really need to ban out Thatcher, somebody else more obvious, or not more obvious, but another operator. You don't really need to ban them out. It's fine to just get the fuck rid of Thatcher. Thatcher? What am I saying? Jackal. So that is completely expected. Team Capitao now getting their ban in order. It is Ossa. Another completely worthwhile ban, especially on Coastline. She can make a lot of moves. She can be in a lot of areas for essentially with no repercussions. So I totally understand their wanting to ban her out so quickly. Next up is Mute, coming up from Team Capitao. I think that might be a little bit of a target ban onto I think maybe either Big or Friendly. I know that they like to play that a lot. But also it's a really good ban just in general, just considering how good of an operator Mute really is. You can deny a lot of those drones, a lot of that intel that you might be gaining throughout the round, and of course Valkyrie, speaking of that intel, can provide you with a whole lot of said intel. So I'm for one, not surprised that they would want to get rid of her. Because she is a little bit annoying. And I just realized that my keybinds on OBS do not work, so you didn't get to see any of what I just saw on the stream. If you're watching, you didn't get to see any of that. And well, what I'm seeing right now is a bit of a problem on the stream, so we will have to fix it.
Defenders protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Soon. We might have to do that in between rounds or something. I wish I had a second screen or observer to help me with this. They are starting out on this kitchen service defense first. Bit of an unlikely scene. I think most people prefer the hookah bomb site as their primary bomb site, but they are choosing to go for something a little bit more unconventional instead. Not to say that the kitchen service bomb site isn't good. I think a lot of teams still choose it. It's definitely the most popular secondary site, but I do think that hookah is the most popular primary site. However, maybe because exactly because of that, they want to try something else, something different, so that they are not playing something that is predictable, such as the hookah bomb site. The attack seems to be coming from all over, but primarily situated on this northern side, trying to get some of this utility with the Flores drones. Of course, the first Flores drone from the Flores turn does get taken out pretty much immediately. They have this warden, which is going to make the stack even harder, especially considering that they do have the Ying of Peter to help them with a potential plant situation, or even a post-plant situation, when they have that Ying and Clo clearing away the exact wrong moment, just in time for Genio to swing him through that VIP door and get the first kill. I think Genio might get the second, and he does. That's a 2K already for Genio. He might get a third. Oh my goodness, and Genio absolutely popping off already in first round. Stone gets another, and it's all up to Biggie, as his teammates have already vacated the plane of existence and made their way into the Shadow Realm. It's all up to Biggie, the Thatcher, on this service door. He's taking a little bit of shots, can't really get anybody, taking some chip damage from the suspecting defenders, and that's Genio running out. Somebody dies to a Claymore set up on a run out, and he gets a 2K off the bat. That's a quad there for Biggie, and Biggie could seriously win this now in a 1v1 against Chip with plenty of time on the hands to play with. This could be Biggie's round after I don't think anybody suspected it. Chip, or Stone, already given up, saying GG, not being very supportive of his teammate. Chip, the Capcan, trying to clutch this out. 50 seconds left on the clock, more than enough time for Chip to do that, for Biggie to do this. He sees the Capcan, he sees him again, jumps in through the window, and he can't get the kill. That would have been the ace for Biggie, but it's Chip instead who gets the clutch against all odds. Genio confused at how the hell that was won by Chip, and I am confused as well. I thought, if anything, that had to have been a win for that had to have been a kill, a win and a kill for Biggie. I cannot believe that that was not won by him. Quite a detrimental loss there for him.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
I apologize for the delay. We just have a little bit of an issue with the stream, but it should be fixed now, and we should be heading straight back into the game, choosing to defend the apparently now secondary bomb site of Hookah, and billiards room
10 seconds left.
are these defenders. Unbelievably,
5 seconds to go.
Chip wins that previous round. I think this is Vig chancing a bit of a run out or maybe a spawn peek. Checking these cams to make sure that somebody even spawned on this side. And he is going for that run out. Nobody peeking him, unfortunately, however, and having to back away. The rest of the team, or the rest of the attacker, is actually spawning on the other side, and it's Cloak to get an early pick onto Genio. And there goes that little bit of a rivalry between them. Genio seemingly very upset in all chat, trying to justify his death, but I don't think there's any justification. Well, I guess there might be, considering that I didn't see it. I'm a single mom of five, says Genio. That is a lie for anybody watching who may not know Genio. Genio is not a mother of 5. He is barely a dad to himself. I don't really know what that's supposed to mean. Peter trying to make his way inside of VIP, but this hole that they made with the Gridlock Shotgun Super Shorty was not very well made, so it kind of delayed him, but not enough time wasted to really make a difference as of yet. It will be Unfriendly and Vig holding on to Aqua, and it'll be Dentist taking some early damage here from a defender. Peter taking out Chip very close to that. Stone still trying to hold on to Hookah with these smoke canisters, and I think Dentist will be picked up by a teammate soon. Biggie goes down to Vig, and it's effectively a 3v4 or 3v3. Make that a 4v3 now, as they do get Dentist picked up finally. A double kill for Peter as he gets another, and it's all done to Vig and Stone. I think if you want to have somebody in a clutch situation, you do want Vig, and you do want the smoke of Stone to be in this position. Biggie chancing himself on this peak, missing just a tad bit. Oh, how was that not a kill into Dentist? I do not know, and I think that Vig is even more upset about it. Stone trying to rotate around. Is he aware that the attackers probably know about him? It is Dentist trying to kill him, and it is Chip dying to a Capcan trap, making this a little bit easier for the defenders, but it's Cloak's Track Stingers that kind of win the round. Or maybe not, as Vig catches 2, leaving this in a 1v1. Diffuser's cold on the ground. I'm not sure where, but it is not nowhere near Cloak at the moment. Cloak making his way inside of Aqua. I think he's being watched on cams as well. They have the information.
15 seconds remaining.
They know exactly where his diffuser cold on the ground inside. It's all down to Vig. A little bit of a peak advantage there from Cloak to win that gunfight. Unbelievably, again, this time it is Cloak to win the round and put Team Capitao on the board. What a match this is already. Who would have thought? I for sure didn't think. You know, TARDIS, I see you in chat. If you're in there, I'm completely fine dragging you in here and having you co-cast with me. I would love to have you on. So if you're up for it, I would love to have you on. If you just want to chill and listen to me drunkenly ramble, that is also fine. Hi anyway. And here we go, heading into, I forgot to see what the bomb site is. Back into Hookah they go, trying to hold on to this a little bit more securely. I think not giving away their intentions that early on. Genio dying to an early spawn pick attempt, I think that might have been. And then also Vig chancing a run, a spawn peek as well. I think that might have hurt him a little bit. It showed Team Clash just how, or Team Capitao, my bad, just how aggressive they were and how aggressive they would be. So I think that kind of gave their cards away a little bit. I don't know if that necessarily had as much to do with them losing that round as much as just losing their ones did. But, you know, these types of situations happen. And, you know, it's only the second round, or the third round, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. And here we go, defending that Hookah billiards bomb site yet again, our Team Capitao. Team Clash. Bro, I really need to, like, figure out this because I was also having trouble last time. And last time I wasn't even drunk. So, I really need to figure that out and make sure that, I'm not messing it up. And there is Genio outside or inside this white window that could be a little bit of trouble, but it looks like he is not going to go for that run out again, or just yet anyway. I think he might be waiting for somebody to challenge him, or he might just be waiting to sneak up on these attackers and foil any plans of attack. The VIP wall gets opened up swiftly, clearing out some of this utility is turned all the way up from the roof. Now the roof sometimes is a very comfortable place for a lot of players, but it's not a place that you should be spending a lot of your time as an attacker, just because of how risky it is. And also, you were wasting so much time unnecessarily, but this time, not wasting time, only wasting lives, is Peter onto Genio. Genio, from the grave, gets a refrag with the gadget, with the Thorn gadget, to make these numbers even yet again. The attackers stalled down a little bit. They're not really moving too much at the moment. Still droning out, trying to gain as much information as possible while they wait to attack this bomb site. Biggie, if he had shot through that rotate, he would have gotten the kill onto the Capcan of Chip, but unfortunately he does not have the view that we do in order to see that. I think this is Vig about to flank. That's Biggie with the kill onto Chip. That would probably be on that rotate, and it's Vig with an insane flick to get rid of Biggie. Huge kill there to make the numbers even yet again. Peter's still droning out with 45 seconds left on the clock. This might not be the play. He's going to have to push forward, as will the rest of his teammates. Turn on this site window, chancing every little bit that he has. I think that might have been unfriendly going downstairs. It's Peter to get unfriendly. I think that actually was Vig downstairs. Stone, I believe, is on the drones. Yeah, it is Vig downstairs to trade it out yet again, and numbers remain even. 2v2, 15 seconds left on the clock. These attackers are going to have to go for these frags. I don't think there's a potential for them to get the plant down. Not one kill from Vig, make that another kill for Vig. And Team Clash get themselves another round. Huge play from Vig to win this round for Team Clash. Big brain moments coming up. Oh, fuck. Alright, well, I guess I'm gonna have to close down my own stream, so that I can watch the M80, SI stream. Here we go. Down back to kitchen service they go. Of course, after 3 rounds, this, site has cleared up again for them. The last time they won it miraculously through Chip just winning the final gunfight. Against, I think, all odds. I want to know how many of you thought that that would have been Biggie's round, and how many of you thought that that would have been Chip's round. I 100% thought that that was Chip's round to win, that was Biggie's round to win. I cannot believe still that he had lost that after it was a 1v1. He pretty much knew exactly where the Capcan Chip was. So, yeah, this is going to be pretty wild. Anybody chancing spawn peek again? No. It looks like they've mellowed out. They've had their aggression, and now they just want to play it a little bit more mellow, which is totally fine. Securing these runouts very early on. Turn on the not turn. My bad. A dentist remaining on that nomad, which he has been picking all round so far. Team Clash in a pretty good position, and make that an even better position as Genio gets an early pick. That default cam still being left up definitely hurt them now. They did drone him out, but how much is that really going to be worth, especially when he knows exactly where the Zofia of Cloak is downstairs. Probably going to try and come up white, or maybe just going to go straight into blue. They still can't clear out Genio, and they can't clear out Vig either, who flanked them and got another kill, trying to do a little bit of vertical damage onto Genio. Is cloaked from down below, but is it really going to be enough? Genio slipping behind before he is hurt anymore with a little bit of a prone punch hole. This could spell trouble if these attackers are not careful. I don't think Cloak is aware of it. I don't think Dentist is aware of it either. Turn on the other side of the window. Genio could get his picks here, and I think that he will. There goes 1 kill. That's not a 2K for Genio. Genio absolutely popping off this game so far. Free-firing some of these angles, some of these very common angles. Dies from inside of blue. That's Dentist picking up the refrag, but is it too little too late? 2v4 with 1:20 on the clock. Can Turn and Dentist do this? We've seen them win worse. We've seen them win better. Turn with a massive whiff. Cloak killing somebody from the grave with a claymore, and it's all down to Dentist. He's being hunted down. He has no idea he's about to get peeked from the blue hallway, or he does now. That is the solace of Vig to pick up another kill, and Team Clash putting themselves in quite the lead now. What is that? 4-1 so far on this half. I mean, you'd sort of expect that on Coastline Defense to be in a little bit of a lead. However, this much of a lead definitely surprises me. You know, I guess maybe if Team Capitao win this run, this 3-1, my bad, it's not 4-1 just yet. But if Team Capitao can win this round, I think they'll be in a pretty good position, being 2-4 on attack. You know, not ideal. You want that even split, if not the lead. You want that even split on Coastline, just because of how evenly split the map is. You know, a team can have just as much success on defense as they do on attack, so you really don't want to be relying on the side that you're starting on the way that you would on certain other maps. For example, Oregon or maybe Cafe, where defense is in quite the advantage just by being defensive. So I don't think you really want to be relying on that on Coastline. However, I still don't think that there's much to worry about until you are 5-1 down in the beginning half, in the opening half, even if that opening half is attack, because, well, I just explained why. Big! I didn't even notice that Big already on 10 kills when 2 people in the lobby don't even have 1 yet. So Big definitely popping off. That is exactly the difference maker that I was talking about at the beginning of the game, where oh, that would have been a great spot for a Cade Claw, but unfortunately it's not enough. That's not gonna get the wall. What the hell are you doing, Vig? Oh, okay, alright, he's trying to do that. That doesn't get the wall? No, it doesn't. But it's very close to getting the wall. I think Vig's just gonna have to go and settle for a regular Cade Claw spot, instead of trying to go for something a little bit more advanced. But as I was saying, you don't really want to be chancing that on Coastline, because should Team Clash finish this on a 5-1 split, well, you were in trouble as Team Capitao, even on defense, because even just 1 round from them could spell disaster for you. And I think Vig might find himself in a very early engagement here on this VIP side of the map. But it's actually Genio with the early engagement to take out Turn. And that's their Zofia gone. A lot of that vertical pressure gone, especially a really good gun gone as well. He knows exactly where the Nomad is. A little bit of trigger control would have come in help there, because he fucking shot too early. Dentist somehow gets away with his life, but not without knowing where Genio is. Biggie picks up another. This is suddenly turning a little bit around for these attackers, using these sends walls to block off any signs of lines of sight. Cloak, you saw his head. That's the only thing you could see, but he does not pull the trigger. I think maybe Peng was a little bit did a little bit of a disservice to him. But they still have to be careful with how they play this. Minute on the clock, they're getting more of these breaches open, holding onto these angles. Biggie pushing into VIP now with the diffuser. Trigger a lot of these traps, just narrowly avoids death, and he makes his way inside of sight. Are the defenders aware of the plant that is happening. I don't think that they are. There goes the C4, misses entirely, and the plant is now down. Defenders now on a post plant. They get 1, they get 2, 2v3 for the attackers to try and hold on to this. Chip gets another, and it's all down to Peter to hold on and defend this diffuser. He gets 1, 25 seconds left. They're gonna have to make their move quick enough, and Chip makes the move, gets another 3K, and has plenty of time to defuse this, or to disable this diffuser. Another round on the board for Team Clash, and suddenly we find ourselves in a 4-1 split. Mad times. Mad times. Heading out into round 6. The final round of this half. Team Capitao still has at their disposal the tactical timeout. They could call it at any point during the match. They have available 1 per map. So there's still time for them to use it. There's still time for them to use it wisely. Should they use it sooner? I would use it probably now. Well, no, now, because that's the last round of their attack. But definitely, should they lose the next round, which it will be the first round of their defense, I would definitely call that timeout and see what is going wrong in Team Capitao. Why are they unable to win these rounds? I think just giving themselves away, dying very early to Vig and Genio is definitely not helping them. Also, losing that first round, I think, to put them on a little bit of a back foot probably gave way to some nasty mentals to start forming. It's like, oh shit, I should have clutched that. And when you're in that sort of mindset where you're thinking, I should have, and I didn't, well, it definitely puts a damper on your performance later on, and you are unable to really focus the way that you should be focusing. A lot of drones here pretty much wasted on trying to get any bit of info on Genio, who so far has been decimating this team, especially with these early picks. I think most of these early picks have gone in favor of Team Clash, and especially in favor of Genio. So they want to be careful with how they do it. Of course, getting rid of those outside default cams. I mean, it's hurt them in the past. They don't want it to hurt them again. It looks like it's going to be a bit of a split push, pushing from the western side where the site is, and also pushing from the northern side. It's Dentist this time with that first early engagement. I think that was through the barricade to get rid of Unfriendly, but it's Genio with a quick refrag onto turn. That's their Iana gone, which means a set of nades is gone as well, and you need that utility, especially later on. Dentist still engaging with these defenders. It's Vig to win the gunfight this time, however, putting this in a 4 versus 3. Very early on in the round, still only a minute gone. And this could be trouble for Team Capitao. A lot of that utility has now been wasted. A set of nades and all of those air jabs all gone. Doesn't mean much when Peter can just hit his shots and get rid of Genio very early on, making this at least a little bit easier, bringing their numbers back to even, spotting out Vig again, but I don't think there's any way for them to capitalize off of that information. And by the time that they do, he has already made his way farther away. I think Peter might lose his life here, but it's actually Cloak that gets rid of Vig, and suddenly they're in a advantageous position. They all get a pick to end this round as soon as it started. Team Capitao finally getting around and making sure that they are not too far behind Team Clash as they start their defensive half. Picking Hookah Billiards as their first and primary site. I think that makes sense. I think that's one of the more expected sites. I think Team Clash had probably chosen to go to kitchen service first, just because it was a bit more of a surprise. It was a bit more of a surprise for Team Capitao to have to attack that, even though that it did get down to a 1v1 between Biggie and Chip. I don't think that it really impacted all that much because everyone died sort of the circumstance, not really down to sight, especially with so much time still being left to use. Now, Team Capitao bringing quite a different lineup. I think this is going to be more of a roaming lineup rather than more of a close-to-sight lineup. You know, we saw Team Clash bringing the smoke and bringing the Capcan, you know. You tend to anchor more of those operators, whereas Team Capitao choosing to just go all out with these roaming operators, that Vigil, that Legion, Mozzie, Oryx. I wonder if there's going to be anyone even left to roam. And of course, the original roamer, Jaeger himself, not the YouTuber, but the operator. This looks like quite the roaming lineup, and Unfriendly bringing this Kali, who, fun fact, has so far not been played once at SI 2023, to try and maybe gain a little bit of information, maybe get an early pick onto somebody unsuspecting, and gain an early advantage. Genio spotting out Cloak very early on. Is Cloak aware of the fact that he had been droned out? He does have turn for support nearby, but is that going to be enough? It will be the Legion of Dentist and the Jaeger still holding out the site, but that Jaeger, I do believe, still in pink bar, could be susceptible to this Kali, and I do think that he is, especially now that the Clash has spotted him, but I do think that Biggie has managed to make his escape. Not so far, but Genio gets an early pick onto Peter. Biggie chancing a kill onto the Iana. That was thankfully only a clone. And Genio gets another. Cloak drops down the hatch. Misses the opportunity to take out Genio. Genio, I think, unaware of the fact that he is going to get pushed again. Just as I said it, it is Cloak to win out that gunfight, but the rest of his teammates taking a lot of damage in these gunfights. Biggie taking out another. That Kali still outside. It's effectively a 2v3. Make that a genuine 2v2. Make that a 1v2, in fact, as Chip is pretty much left all by his lonesome. That Kali just now joining him. 58 seconds left on the clock. There's still enough time for them to do this, especially with, well, no one's actually on cams. They're all spectating their teammates. Now they're checking out those cams. Finally, it only takes a ping for people to do that. The reason I'm even mentioning that is because we had a discussion about it earlier. 35 seconds left on the clock, and they're not really making a push for anything. Clo could be the big playmaker here if he makes his way up this office hatch. They do make their way inside of the Aqua bar. Dentist completely oblivious, I think, to where they are actually pushing from, or pushing into. It's Clo coming up that hatch to get Unfriendly. It's all down to Chip now, and with a nice little pre-fire, Cloak is the one to win that round. Team Capitao slowly catching up. This might be a wild one. Holy shit, it worked, says Cloak, no doubt referring to his miraculous hatch flank that worked out perfectly to get a kill onto both of them. Genio claiming he knew he was there. I don't know how much I believe that, but, you know, anything is possible. I guess choosing the kitchen service site as their secondary site, bringing also the Rook, which could be a big playmaker later on in the round, of course. If you're unaware, haven't played Siege for a while, the Rook has been buffed quite a bit recently by the addition of self-revive with the Rook plates. Any operator that has the Rook plates on will be able to revive themselves after being down, which is a huge advantage to have sometimes in say a post-lane situation or a clutch situation, where especially your enemy doesn't know that you are down. It could be quite a big
Defuse a bomb.
play. Look, wasting a little bit of this time trying to find this drone, and he does find it rather early on, wasting a little bit more of that utility from Team Clash. Dentist getting really aggressive on this main door, but Genio, a little bit more aware than Dentist would have hoped, gets that early pick, and the first call comes out from the Dokebi to try and clear out more of these defenders. That call does give away the Frost inside of the main lobby. Now in security, Genio chasing. He knows there's still someone in there. Genio doing a little bit of damage, but not quite enough. Having to pull back, and it's Peter who will be pulling back as well. Oh, Genio tries to go for a little bit of a sneaky push. Unfortunately, whiffs just one shot, and it's... Man, why did you move, says Genio, as he loses the gunfight versus Peter. Peter on very low HP, however. But keep in mind, he does have those rook plates on still, so that could still be quite... a situation unfriendly. For some reason, trying to shoot the rook inside of the rotate with his pistol instead of just shooting him with his AR. I will never understand that, but you know, it might have been just a little bit of a nervous play. Turn gets another through those vert holes. I do believe that was Cloak roaming on this top floor. I don't think he had been droned out yet. I don't think he had been cleared out yet. He could be serious trouble for these attackers. Although I don't think that he's aware of where exactly they are, of where they are pushing from. They're aware of him now, or they're at least aware of somebody potentially being upstairs with them. Not doing anything to fix that just yet. Biggie gets another through those vertical angles, and it's all down to Chip and Stoned yet again. Stoned outside of this kitchen window. Chip slowly joining him. 40 seconds left on the clock. They do have the diffuser in hand, but not a lot of utility, and the site is still swimming with defenders. Can they pull this off? They're going to be giving themselves away now with that air jab. Turn with a quick peek does get the kill onto Stoned, and it's all done to Chip. All eyes on him, quite literally, to try and win this game, and it's Cloak with essentially a spawn peek through this mudroom window to get the necessary kill to win yet another round for Team Capitao and to bring us onto even grounds at 4 apiece. Well, time flies, because I just checked my stream, and apparently I've been live for 52 minutes, and it doesn't feel like I've been live for that long at all. So, I guess time flies when you are having fun. Going for the blue bar and pink bar, or sunrise bar, defense this time, commonly known as double bar. People love to call it double bar. Cloak deciding to get off of some of those bit more aggressive operators and choosing to play the castle instead.
Attackers have located
In a bit of a curious way, I have to admit,
10 seconds left before
it's a curious way to play castle on this side. That is a barricade that I expected.
attackers are heading out.
Not the one inside of kitchen. Oh, I guess. Cloak absolutely unable to kill those 2 drones, and that's just a little bit of utility that Team Clash still have at their disposal. I do want to point out a friendly still on 0 kills, this time choosing to play a blitz, going into a room that is completely castled off, so there will be absolutely 0 advantages to come from there. This could be the chance for his first kill, but it also could just be the first domino to fall for Team Clash if they are not careful in the way that they play. I don't know about this double shield situation. I don't think that is necessarily a good idea. Unfriendly chancing it, putting a breach charge on this castle door, and it does work to get the castle door open. That Monty makes his way inside of sight, pinging out these defenders. That is exactly how you play Monty. You do not put your shield down at any point. You are just keeping an eye on everybody and pinging out as much as you can. That was a Wamai magnet, and an impact from the Wamai himself misses. Impacts himself, and I think that second impact actually destroyed the goo mine that was there to stop the Monty. It's Unfriendly through the wall to get his first pick on that blitz. He didn't even have to use his shield. Utility turn does get the refrag pretty much immediately. The rest of the team kind of staggered all over the place. It is Vig with the next kill onto Cloak. And another kill from Vig onto Turn leaves the site pretty much free. Peter trying to start something from upstairs. He hears the plant go down, but he can't really see anything. It's Dentist to get the next kill. Plant is now down. Against the Monty, this is going to be pretty tough, especially now the Genio has killed off Peter, leaving Dentist in a 1v3. There's some info about where Genio is, but with that nade, this could be trouble. The nade does get swallowed by an ADS gadget, but against Chip with that very hard-hitting SC3000K and that Monty, this is going to be pretty much impossible. We saw a similar round yesterday on SI, at SI, and another round for Team Clash to hold on to the lead that they had nearly lost. Team Clash put themselves at 5-4, now just a step away from match point. This could be the round. Team Capitao absolutely have to win this if they want to stay close. If they want to stay close behind, make sure they are not giving away too much. And just as much, Team Clash need to win this if they want to put themselves on match point and get the necessary advantage that they want. Of course, you should not be treating any type of advantage that you may have in Siege as an opportunity to make mistakes or to play silly. You want to take that advantage as a little bit of breathing space, maybe playing even less aggressive, because a lot of teams, when they're panicking, when they're on that match point and they're maybe down 6-2, they start to get really, really aggressive, trying to make something happen, trying to be a little bit more unpredictable, and if that backfires on you, well, you've just lost the game, buddy. So do not look at that advantage as an opportunity to be kill hungry, an opportunity to be greedy, an opportunity to play silly or to play without a care, because it might just come back to bite you. And I think Team Clash, had they been thinking that way at the start of this half when they were up 4-2, that might have been the exact wrong way of looking at it. Genio nearly kills Chip as he pre-fires that drone hole. So that could have been a very unsuspecting, very early TK from Team Clash. Luckily, they avoid it. Unfriendly making his way swiftly inside of the building, but undoubtedly being heard by this Oryx down below, or upstairs. Definitely aware of him now. Has to be Cloak. And he is! It is Cloak to win that gunfight, but just narrowly, that was Unfriendly's gunfight to win, and he lost it. Team Clash on the back foot yet again, using these floors drones to try and clear out some of that utility, try and clear out some of these players out of their position. But so far, no real attempt at an attack has been made. More of these floors drones coming out, especially those nades as well. They could be the secret recipe to clear out Biggie out of his current position on Cool Vibe Stairs. One nade coming down that drone hole vent could spell disaster. Vig trying to drone at it. It's Peter with the next kill onto Genio. Genio as well taking a little bit of damage on that VIP, or on the Hall of Fame door from the Capcan trap as well. So that will definitely be an assist on the books for Turn. The rest of the team trying to make a push happen from this hookah side. I do believe that all of them are there. Indeed, they are trying to make anything happen. It's questionable whether it will. Big trying to push by himself inside of Aqua. He must be aware of the lesion inside of Aqua Bar itself. Or is he trying to go for a little bit of a pre-fire? I do believe that that lesion of Dentist has made his way already down and below. It is a Capcan trap that down stoned on his way inside, and that is the diffuser now out cold inside of sight control of the defenders. Vig does make his way inside of Aqua, but is that going to be enough? Especially if there is a Capcan trap on the door. Luckily, there is none. And Turn gets another one, makes this a little bit easier, but with 20 seconds left on the clock, this is going to be very, very tough. Some information comes out on a little bit of these players. Vig gets another 3v2 now, still a diffuser in hand, and make that a 1v3 now for Vig as Dentist takes out his teammate. Doing a lot of damage onto Biggie, finally gets him. No idea of the C4 or of the player inside of the rotate, and it's Cloak inside of the rotate to take out Vig. And we're back to even Stevens, 5-5. I do believe that we will be seeing overtime. And I do want to say to anybody that doubted the creation of these teams, I do want to say that I do believe that this is the closest matchup that we've had in a while. Kill-wise, you know, Vig, Genio absolutely dominating their team. Biggie and Cloak trying to claw their way for first. Pretty much at this point just winning out on points. Biggie probably still carrying a little bit of that frustration from the first round that he lost, and just thinking, well, if I could win every single round from here on out, then it doesn't matter. Some arguing going on inside of all chat. I'm not reading it, so I don't know what's happening. Hopefully all of it is at least a little bit PG, so that I don't get banned off of YouTube. And oh my goodness, what a shot there from Ruby. Currently I've got Team Secret M80 game going on, and that was just a really insane shot. Anyhow, we are back to the kitchen service defense for this team again, bringing that Rook again, bringing the Legion again, which they tend to bring quite a lot inside of Seismic, just considering that he's got a really banging gun with that P90, and the MP5K is not that bad either. Not to mention, of course, the gadget, which I spoke about already. A pretty good gadget. The only really downside to him is the fact that he's at 1 speed, so if you don't mind your operator being loud as hell and slow, well then Rook is a really great operator, brings quite a bit of utility. That extra bit of HP helps more often than you think. It's basically another bullet that you get to tank. So if you whiff a lot, then maybe Rook is the operator for you, and that default camera being left up again. It will be Cloak trying to chance a bit of a run out. Unfortunately, it doesn't let him anything this time around, but it could in the future, especially with that camera still being up. I do believe that camera had been taken out, and Cloak does get an early pick onto Genio, clearing out some of this utility as well. These drones, Genio quite mad that he lost that gunfight. I would be too if I were Genio. You're playing against Cloak for all intents and purposes. Couple of trades come out, and these attackers are not looking good for wear, or whatever the saying, however the saying goes. 3 versus 4. This is still doable, especially with those lion scans and with the nomad still in play. This is definitely doable. Still getting a little bit of information from those zero cams as well, doing a little bit of vertical damage with those breach charges. From the Nomad, of course, nowhere near as much as they could be doing with the sledge that they lost, or with the buck that they brought him. But it is still something. Time dwindling away, and they're not really making a push for anything just as of yet. They will be making a push for it soon, though. Unfriendly making his way down these main stairs. Aware of the rook, aware of the Oryx, he gets one. Knows that there's another one inside of main lobby. Chooses to not re-engage, but I do believe that it's a teammate nearby that might be chancing that engagement. I think they're going to be going for a bit of a double push onto the Legion. Or maybe not, as Unfriendly drops into courtyard all by himself. Exposes himself to the sunrise angle, and that's Peter to clean up another kill for himself. Stoned now in sight. Diffuser not in hand. Knows there's one still in sunrise. Gonna have to go for the kills. If they are not gonna go for the plant, and Team Capitao win another round, putting themselves on match point. Team Clash absolutely need this win if they want to keep themselves alive and want to take this to overtime. A bit of an unsuspecting sight, I might say. Penthouse and Theater, it will be the next choice for Team Capitao. When Team Clash played this site, Team Capitao ended up winning it with... No, Team Capitao did not win this this round. It was, they got the plant down, but it was Chips, Clutch that won the round in the end for Team Clash. So hopefully that is not the same fate here for Team Capitao. Choosing to reinforce this triple wall of VIP instead of making a rotate inside of it. I personally prefer to put a rotate there. I think that you have a little bit more control, a little bit more maneuverability when you've got that rotate, but I do understand the wanting to reinforce it instead. It does give you a little bit more safety, and if you do lose that VIP hold, you haven't immediately lost the site. And as I mentioned, that bed area, behind the bed area, is very, very dangerous for plants, which if you're not able to prevent, well, you might be in quite a pickle. The attack starting to come about from this northern side on this VIP wall. Looking out for that run out again, the way that it happened last time probably has them a little bit nervous that it might happen again. However, it doesn't look like anyone is really attempting to do such a thing, other than maybe Biggie, who is getting a little bit brave here inside of luggage. And it is Genio who has made his way straight into sight with an early pick onto turn, and that is the only player who was actually on site. The rest of the team, far and far away, are being forced now into a retake, as I do believe ship will be going down for a plant, and it's Genio to take out another. Never mind, he completely whiffs somehow. Throws out a nade, and that diffuser is down now. In a post-plant situation, it is all down to Dentist, Peter, and Cloak, all crumbled up together in the same part of the map, in the same part of the floor even, trying to get this retake, trying to make this happen, but I don't think that it is likely, especially with that timer dwindling away for them. They do get a trade onto Stoned, but is that going to be enough? Cloak, now all by himself, does get one, but not even enough time. Even if he does clean up all three now, it's all just for kills now. He gets one in a 1v2, actually impossible for him to win now. And that's another round on the board now for Team Clash. We do see overtime, ladies and gentlemen, and the teams are perfectly balanced with it. Big having 18 kills. Christ. Big on 18, Genio 14, Cloak 14, Biggie 13, Peter 12. The rest of them, While I don't want to say irrelevant, because there have been some clutches from all of the 5 remaining players, it is just a little bit funny that we have 5 players on double digits and the rest nowhere near. I think Chip is doing the best. He's died the least amount of times. So either he's really good at baiting his teammates, or he's just really good at the game. Either or works for me. Going back to Hookah, which they won, I wouldn't say confidently. It got a little bit close. It all came down to Viggy in a 1v2 to try and clutch it out, which he did. But it still got closer. Wait, no, that was on the other end. Then I have no idea how this went for them. It went good / bad for them.
10 seconds left.
I think Stone died with a diffuser inside of sight.
Attacker's objective is to
And
locate
then-
a bomb and defuse it.
Yeah, so it was Chip and Unfriendly to die to Cloak coming up the hatch. See, I remember things. I remember things. Don't you ever say I don't remember things, because I remember things. I pay attention to what I'm doing. You know, these types of things only happen when I'm the one spectating and casting at the same time, because then I don't get to keep notes, and then I don't remember what happened. But Unfriendly making quick work of this quad wall to get it opened up, and Genio in a very early engagement does get downed. I don't think the Cloak knows that he's down, but it doesn't matter because Biggie does, and that's a kill for Cloak. Very huge, very early pick. That is their second highest kill player at the moment. Turn, you can only see his head, and he finally takes the head off him. Great job there from Turn, and suddenly this is looking not so winnable from Team Clash in a 3v5. What a back and forth we've seen from these teams. Big shooting through the wall, just narrowly missing out on Biggie. And as Chip joins him, does take a little bit of damage from this window. Unfriendly does take out Peter. Big gets another, and it's a 3v3, making very swift work of the rest of these defenders. And it's Vig with another huge kill onto Cloak, whiffing just a little bit onto Turn, and Turn with 1 HP might just be the playmaker of this round. They have a little bit of information onto Turn into exactly where he is, and no doubt thanks to those 0 cams. But in a 1v2, despite having some of that health advantage, this is going to be a very difficult task. If he peeks a little too wide, he's going to get killed by the Legion, and it is Dentist with the swing to win this round for Team Capitao, putting them on match point. What a round that was. Overtime match point for Team Capitao. Team Clash absolutely need to win this. I don't know what the hell that means. Vig says, Cloak, we are not in baseball. I thought he might have been asking for a timeout. I was like, guy, you can request that yourself. Vig breaks 20! Wow! He pretty much needs to ace this round, and then, but also lose it. No. He needs to ace this round, win it, and then in the next round get a few more kills. I do believe that the current record for the most amount of kills in Seismic in a single game was Vig. December of 2021 with 26. That is what I've been told anyway. The most that I remember was either 23 or 24 from Danskin during the super sweaty Seismic Scrim, whatever, in the summer of 2021, where he got like 24 and then Tricky got really mad. That is what I thought was the highest amount of kills in a game, but apparently it is actually Big with 26, so Big is going to have to either match his own record or beat it. A couple people have gone close since then. I think Danskin got like 22, Peter got like 21, 22, I think Vig got 22 in the Brutal Swarm seasonal tournament.
Attackers recovered the
But I don't think anyone's really quite broken the 26 yet. If that even happened, which I wasn't there for it, so as far as I'm concerned, it didn't. Turn, bring in Finca LMG. I think is a little bit stuck in a few seasons ago, whiffing just a little bit and taking a little bit of damage from the rest of these defenders. I do believe that's the Solus Vig contesting him quite a lot, and makes his way out of there as quickly as is humanly possible to make sure that he's not engaging any more than he needs to be. The rest of the attack, I do believe, is coming from that same side of the map, but they are going to push into different rooms, and it's Vig with an early pick onto Cloak. This could be the beginning of the end for Team Capitao here if Team Clash play their cards right, but we've seen Team Capitao be able to get those refrags, get those trades happening, and that is Cloak dying to a Claymore set up from Stone. Wait, no, Stone is the one that died to the Claymore. I am just dumb. Cloak from the grave, getting a kill. Great job. I don't know what I'm saying. I think that was Vig that they were trying to contest there. Vig now officially on 21 kills. Still staying alive. 4v4 with a minute left on the clock. Genio still upstairs with those vertical angles set up. It's Biggie that wins this peak onto Unfriendly. And suddenly the numbers are not so much in the defender's advantage as they were just a little bit ago. Vig and Genio still roaming. They both have the potential for a flank. They must have heard Vig on that drop into Courtyard, and they definitely did. They take him out. It's all down to Genio and Chip now. Chip taking quite a lot of damage, getting one on sight. He gets another with the pistol. I think that was not a down, but it is a kill there for Chip. I do believe the Genio will be commencing that flank in a little bit, but he instead chooses to just get the kill onto Biggie. That's the diffuser gone as well. Peter now forced in a 1v2 to try and clutch this out. You know, there's one on Kegs, and he gets Chip, but Chip from the grave does not let it slide and gets a kill with the Capcan trap. It is finally here, full overtime. I've been waiting all season for it. I don't think we've had it so far. Or did we have it on the Skyscraper Scrim? I'm gonna have to ask Jordan about that. I do believe we had it on the Skyscraper Scrim. Or did it end 7? 8 was it 8-6 or was it 8-7? I think it was 8-6. So it was like technically full overtime, but it wasn't like full overtime, like overtime match point for both teams. So Jordan, if you got that information from me, you definitely do. I don't know if you're just watching it, but you're gonna have to let me know. I think this is the first like fully overtime match that we've had all season. I think the highest we've gone to was 8-6 finish. So this is it. It's for both of these teams, everything to play for. Team Capitao choosing to go for the kitchen service site. I wish I could remember what the hell happened here last time they were here, but I don't. I think it was Genio who died very early on, and then it was a couple more people died very early on, and then they kind of couldn't do anything. I do believe that is what happened. In exactly that order. Well, that happened one of the times that this site was played. I just don't know whether it was the last time that it was played. Anyway,
5 seconds to go.
no one in this match is on 0 kills, which is quite impressive. Well, it's actually not that impressive. It doesn't happen that often. I don't think we haven't had too many donuts in Seismic, I'm gonna be honest. We used to have them like 2 years ago or like 3 years ago, but not so much anymore now that people have gotten good and the game has gotten bad. Anyway, the attack seems to be coming from this VFP side. Yet again, they're going to try and go for a little bit of a top-down take. Try and clear out some of these roamers, of which there are many. So it's going to be quite difficult, and that default camera being left up yet again. I mean, what do you gain from it? Finally being taken out there by Stoned. Stoned, confirmed better player than all of the rest of them, because no one else knows how to take out the fucking default camera in the first, like, 5 seconds from spawning. And some of that vertical pressure is starting to calm down, especially when they brought the fuse, which I completely missed. That's Vig with the fuse and Unfriendly with an early kill onto Peter. Biggie is playing with fire, trying to kill this fuse from these vertical angles, and I think he's about to be dead. Miraculously, he survives. But it's the same cannot be said about Genio, who does die from Cloak upstairs. Cloak still pretty much intact and still roaming. Dentist a bit more shallow, but still roaming nonetheless. Oh my god, so many claymores on that one hatch. And all of them to prevent Cloak from doing anything, but it doesn't look like he needs the hatch because he can do a lot of damage just through those walls. They have some information about these attackers, but not quite enough for Cloak to net another kill. However, that time is dwindling away. Turn goes down inside of sight, no doubt from those vertical angles. And, or that might have been from the window, actually. He does pick himself up with the, Rook armor, which is huge. I totally forgot about that, even though I literally mentioned it. Cloak doing a lot of damage to himself, by making a lot of these rotates with his body, being chased down by Vig on the fuse. And I do believe there will be Cloak to win out this engagement as Dentist elsewhere takes out Stoned. Being droned out is Cloak, and it's actually Vig to win that gunfight. 2v3, 15 seconds left on the clock. Diffuser cold on the ground. They're gonna have to go for the kills. They do pick up the diffuser, but I don't think they're gonna have nowhere near enough time to actually get it down. Vig, no idea where they are, gets one. Dentist gets another, and it's a triple for Vig, but they can't get the plant down. And Dentist clutches that round. Wins the round. GG's, wins the game for Team Capitao. What a round. What a game this has been. And Cloak on top with 18 kills. Fucking 7 players with double digits on the board. Unbelievable matchup. And I think that I should just do this more often and just trust the algorithm, because whenever I don't trust the algorithm and try to make the teams myself, it doesn't tend to work out. Anyway, that's it. I don't think people are gonna want to do the next scrim. I know that I don't, but if people do, I guess I'll just put on a break for now, and then I might see you, I might not. Bye-bye / see you soon.
Check it out.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Seismic Competitive Scrims. This is Solar Competitive Scrim number 9. We just had number 8 a little bit ago. It finished 8-7 for Team Clash. That is not correct. It ended up 8-7 for Team Capitao. Currently we've got Team Caveira versus Team Doc. Team Cav consisting of Vig, Biggie, Genio, Benzilla, or Ben, who is Vig's friend, and Chip, and then Team Doc consisting of Danskin, Unfriendly, Counter, Dentist, and Stoned. These teams might be completely fucked. If they are, I take zero of the responsibility, considering that we have zero data on Ben and his performance. And also, I feel like there's too much of a variation between some of the people playing in Seismic Scrim sometimes, where you'll have simultaneously Vig and Danskin and Peter and Shames, who are like some of the best players in Seismic, and then you will also have people like Jordan, who are absolutely dog shit. So that just sort of causes a bit of a imbalance. Was I seriously about to say disbalance? What in the god? A bit of an imbalance in the teams and everything. So, but worry not. We will still try our best to provide the best entertainment possible, given the circumstances that are ahead of us. And we are about to head into the map bans as well. Of course, a bit of a modified pool, as well as, of course, the rule that the two most recently played maps are out of the map pool. which includes the most recently played Coastline. Now, luckily, that does free up Skyscraper, which was banned for the one that we just played for Scrim number 8. It was banned for it. Now it is back into play, and maybe we get to see another Skyscraper Scrim. Who knows? Emerald Plains is banned up first by the side of Team Cav. Not surprised, although I am a little bit disappointed and very, very sad. I don't know why people hate this map as much as they do. I love it. I think it's one of the better maps currently in the ranked rotation and competitive rotation, but people want to be dumb, and I guess I'll just let them be dumb because I really don't have control over whether they are dumb or not. Border goes out next. I, for one, am happy to not have to see Border. I've already explained in the previous map bans where I have really bad win rate on it this season, even though it's one of my favorite maps. So I'm fine having to look at it and watch how people win on it. Consulate goes out next. You won't find a happier person about that than me. Villa comes out next. Well, that's something for sure. I've been told that my mic is buggy. I really have no idea what it was causing that. Oh no, I know what's causing that. Right. So I had Vig set up my mic gain and stuff, and I don't know how to fix it now. Because now all it does is not pick up my mic at all unless I'm like talking really loudly, which I am not doing most of the time. So it will just continue to be like that until I figure out how to get into the settings of OBS, which I currently am not versed into knowing. Anyway, Skyscraper goes out, so I guess we won't be seeing it, and a very quick ban on the canal in Oregon leaves us on Outback. I think this will be the first Outback Scrim in Seismic. Very, very exciting. I do believe that is Team Doc now choosing to start out on attack, which, I mean, I'm very excited about this. This will be, for sure, a match. And I do believe that everyone is ready to go with the lobby and everything. So we will be starting this shortly. I'm very excited. I hope everyone else is also excited. And without any further ado, we are starting this game. And we are actually quitting this game because I did not change the starting sides, so we are gonna have to restart the lobby, but fear not, we will be back shortly.
Check it out. Check it out.
I apologize for the delay that you've had to experience so far, but we are back, and we are back on Outback. That's so many backs back to back. Christ, I can't stop. Okay, well, we are back. Team Caveira starting out the bans here on Outback. Who will they ban? I don't know. Osa, quite an interesting ban. I think Osa's becoming a lot more prevalent of a ban recently so far this season. Just because of how strong of an operator she is, I'm definitely not surprised to see her get banned out as often as she does. And especially on this map, I think there's quite a lot of potential for her to really cause trouble. So it does not surprise me that that she is getting banned out. Jackal comes up next, coming up from Team Doc. Again, an operator that has been pretty much steadily banned across the board for a very, very long time. You know, it's really annoying when you're trying to roam and you're trying to pretty much do anything and then you just get pinged all the time. You can't roam, you can't flank, you can't do anything. He makes it really annoying and, you know, out of sight, out of mind. Capcan getting banned out is the least surprising so far of the bans, considering how much Capcan plays there were on the most previous game on Coastline that we just had this evening. A lot of Capcan plays. Chip pretty much never stopped playing Capcan on defense, and that really caused the ruckus for the opposing team. Team Cav choosing to not ban an operator defense, leaving themselves with a couple more options. Friendly says PP, I agree. Jordan requested for them to get rid of Outback while he was gone. I don't know whether that was after the first game or after I messed up the second game for the first time, but, you know, tough luck, I guess, Jordan, and get fucked. I really mean it. I really mean it. That one's from the heart, really. Just a big get fucked. And here we go. Starting out with a defense on Laundry and Piano is Team Caveira. Caveira. I don't know how to pronounce it. I would just say Team Cav. Team Cav, Team Doc. One syllable for both. Couldn't ask for anything better. And they are gonna be playing Decade. I wonder whether Ben is gonna try and Cade trick, considering the fact that they do have the Thatcher on the board, and they are bringing the Thatcher, which makes it all that much easier to open the wall. Opting to not go for a rotate inside of Yellow Hall. Some teams want it, some teams don't. I personally always go for that rotate. I think that it gives you a lot more maneuverability. Of course, you do have to be worried of the window instead of Yellow Hall. There was a much more efficient way to get over here than this. But yeah, this is the one that you kind of have to worry about should you make a rotate in this wall. But not many people play it. Not many people play it. A lot of people forget about it, that it even exists, because there's not really much to gain from it. Ben playing kind of an annoying position there on top of the banister on these yellow stairs, making it that much more annoying to actually counter that. And they are going to be going for this wall without really getting tricked. I do believe that this is going to be an easy work, wasting both of those K+ on that wall. It doesn't really net them anything, but Genio nets a kill with the Valkyrie to get rid of Dentis right off the bat. That is their sledge gone. Any amount of verticality that they might have wanted to... well, there wouldn't have been much verticality. It would have been horizontality, I guess. But any sort of soft breaching that they wanted to gain, or anything that they wanted to gain with those nades is gone. And I think Genio is going to be chancing another kill as Vig gets a kill onto Friendly. It is Danskin to get the kill onto Genio. A nice little quick peek there from Danskin to get this thing started on the board for his team. It's all down to Stoned, and Danskin as Vic picks up another. Stoned and Danskin quite dispersed, and they do have a lot of information on Danskin's whereabouts, no doubt, thanks to Genio's Capcan traps. Stone gets another. Vig finally, not Vig, Danskin finally trades out Vig. That shield might be a problem. He doesn't have a nade left. And I do believe that will be Chip going down now. It is suddenly all down to Biggie in a 1v2 situation. He had won a 1v1 previously, or he'd lost a 1v1 previously against Chip. This is all to play for now for both of these teams. It is Danskin who's droning stoned in. He knows exactly where Biggie is, but it's a frost trap on that shield, the most obvious frost trap, but unfortunately for Biggie, that is not the demise of Team Doc, as Stone finally cleans it up, and that's first round to Team Doc. Okay, well, they've wasted a timeout now on a technical difficulty, which we could have just paused the timer for. So I guess that's something. Well, I guess they're gonna have to have some conversation in this timeout that they've been given. 60 seconds to, I guess, bring Biggie back, but I don't think there's gonna be enough time. Yeah, their Team Doc might be discussing something, might be talking about, hey, maybe a little bit more information would have been good. You know, they did bring that back, but that still doesn't make that a good round for Team Doc. And we are gonna have to be sitting here with a little bit of a technical difficulty, waiting for Biggie to load back into the game. You know, unfortunately, nothing you could do when there's a bug. None of us want bugs, none of us anticipate bugs, but they do happen, and there's nothing we can do about them. So, yeah, just waiting for Biggie now. They are going to be going for another laundry piano attempt. That was, I think, a good round, but just a little bit of a misplay, losing bodies and sort of giving themselves away in a lot of ways. But here we go, restarting the timer and getting ourselves back into this round. I think I probably could have restarted it earlier, but in any case, here we go. Big and Genio still picking out their operators, and Genio, true to the team's name, is picking team. Is picking Cav. That could be big. I mean, if he was able to do a little bit of damage early on onto Dentist with the Valkyrie, I wonder what kind of damage he could do with a Cav should the opportunity present itself. Bring a pretty similar lineup, save for the Bandit, choosing to play the Bandit instead of the Cade to Bandit Trick, because of course it is a lot easier to Bandit Trick a Thatcher than it is to Cade Trick a Thatcher. All you really need is sound and some ADSs, which they are bringing the Jaeger, so that shouldn't be any problem. Of course, provided that the ADSs are stacked near the Bandit and his wall, and not sort of anywhere. I think they might be bringing those for maybe this yellow side or somewhere. He's placed down one ADS, but I can't find it. Placing a couple of the rest of them inside of piano. Oh, it's inside of showers. Okay, and the third one will be inside of piano. I guess he'll be holding piano, leaving Bandit all to his lonesome, which is not a good idea, but I guess if they have big on the Azami with the Kiba barriers, that could be good enough. And they are going to be nading from below, which is where Bandit is the most vulnerable. Of course, no ADSs helps you with that. They are going to be trying to go for a nade from below as they get their attack in motion. This could be a huge problem for Ben, and it isn't, because Danskin misses the nade. But that C4 wasted on the wall that has just been opened up, was not able to Bandit trick it. I think he missed which side he was tricking. I really hope that Ben was able to get out of that position, and he was. Genio on a quite a deep roam, trying to find an unsuspecting victim. But I don't know that he's going to find anybody, or he just might find Danskin, who is drowning him out. He knows exactly where he is, and this will be the battle of the greats. Genio moving away and losing that gunfight. Instead of it being Danskin, it is actually Genio that is downed and out for the count. Same as Big. Now a 3v5 for these defenders to try and win this out. Minute 20 on the clock. More than enough time for this attack to complete their attack. Not really holding any angles. Strip giving himself away a little bit. Getting droned out as well. There's a lot of information now being gained on the side of the attackers. Danskin and Dentist both still pushing from this opposite end. It is Ben with a huge kill onto Friendly to bring this a little bit closer to even. But still a lot of work to do, especially when Biggie is in a huge engagement here against Danskin to try and hold on to Piano still. Danskin still with one nade. Somehow doesn't get caught up on the ADS, but Danskin makes his way inside of Terrace now swiftly to try and counter the rest of this attack. Stoned, not quite sure what he is doing, but he gets a kill on the chip, so it doesn't really matter. Those Storm Gadgets do come out, and it's Ben with another kill onto Stoned. It's Biggie to clean up. Danskin wants a for all, and Dentist now takes another. It's all down to Ben. They know he's at the top of yellow stairs on this vending machine. They are going for the flank. They're going to try and not go for the kill. It's Dentist who definitely saw him in that doorway, who's choosing to not kill him just yet, deciding to leave it for a post plant instead. Both of them inside of sight. Dentist safe behind a reinforced wall. One of them droning. That is Dentist gone. And Ben! Unbelievable with a quad to win this round for Team Cav. After the beginning that they had, Genio and Vig both going down very early on, I did not think they were going to win this, and especially in a 1v2 post-plant situation. That was a tough situation for Biggie, or for Ben to be in. I apologize. But he brought it out anyway. What a round, what a round. This time choosing to go for a party office defense instead of the previously seen laundry piano. That's the other bounce site. Laundry piano defense that they have tried twice and lost once. This time deciding to go for something a little bit less conventional, but equally as strong for the defense. I actually prefer this site whenever I play this game. I think that it's a little bit easier to defend. Harder to retake, I'll say, but easier to defend, in all honesty, because even when they get that wall open, you still haven't really done much, because, okay, sure, they've got this wall open, then what? You still have to get through electrical, which if you've got traps in there, if you've got somebody playing on this little corner here, if you've got some instead of party, somebody playing inside of office, there's really not much you can do with that until you've got people set up on the garage windows or pushing inside of garage, people pushing the bullfish, people pushing for the shark. So even when that wall's open, there's still another 90 seconds worth of prep before you can really do something with that, which is why I do think that party office is a little bit easier to defend. And Genio again on this roam with the Cav pretty far out, so far undetected, I believe, as that wall does get opened up now, or they're attempting to open it up. Ben's still trying to band a trick, and it is Friendly with the first kill onto Biggie. That is quite a big kill now. Ben's still pretty much uncontested, and that is all of the EMPs gone from the Thatcher as well, so that wall will stay opened unless counter can go from below and Ash charge the bandit batteries. I think that is what he's trying to do, but he might fall victim to Genio. Never mind, Genio's on a completely other side of the map, so maybe not. But he still is not safe. He will decide to go up these garage stairs instead, which could be equally as dangerous, especially if there's somebody watching him. Which at the moment, I don't think there anybody is, and there goes Ben with a peek onto counter. This is not looking good for the attack. Genio making his way up these yellow stairs, still completely undetected, and inside a bathroom, will hop on friendly, and I think we can count his days pretty much now. That's diffuser down as well. Genio in a pretty crucial flank there as Vig and Chick clean up the other two. And another round on the board for Team Dog. Absolutely annihilating the attackers so far.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can. Bomb located by attackers.
This time, going for the green bedroom defense. So far, unseen. You know, a lot of people prefer this site to a lot of the other ones. I don't. I feel like there's way too many angles and way too much verticality, of course. The entire floor here, the entire floor here, the entire floor here, all of that is destructible. Actually, I don't think that the entire floor of the laundry room is destructible. But the entire floor inside of piano and dorms is completely destructible, which leaves you very, very vulnerable when you're inside of the bomb site with so many vertical angles. Not to mention that you've got this lizard wall to worry about, you've got this yellow wall to worry about, you've got the bathroom, which if somebody's on this window pretty much cuts off any rotation between the sites. This wall, of course, not to mention the hatch as well, is just a very difficult site to hold on to, in my opinion. Not to say that it can't be done, it's just I think that the upstairs sites are a little bit better. And an early engagement here from Counter to take out Biggie, that Blackbeard. Shield coming in handy. Dentist taking out Chip as well from this vertical angle. Vig finally getting a refrag with the C4. That is their hard breach gone, so that is a huge pick there from Vig. But is that really going to be enough? Genio with an early kill onto Danskin as the Cav, but he does get taken out. Downs one in the process. Not enough damage done, however. 3v2 and only a minute and 15 seconds so far have passed. Vig upstairs takes out Dentist. Huge pick there from Vig. Still getting picked apart from the other end. He does have the HP advantage, and especially being the Thunderbird, he has the possibility of healing himself up back to full HP should that be required. Ben inside of sight with the fucking pistol takes out Counter, and Counter does trade him out immediately. He will be going for this plant. It's all down to Vig in this post-plant situation, most likely, because I don't think he will be getting him from the vertical angle, but instead it is actually Vig from the vertical angle to take him down and to put another round on the board for Team Cav. What a huge round there from Vig. First a C4 kill, then a couple more kills, and really an all-around great play. Team Dogs trailing behind so far. It's not completely unexpected considering that we are playing Outback, which tends to be a very defender-sided map. However, Team Dog do want to pick up some steam and get this show on the road before they are left scrambling to do anything.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as
It
many
will be
bombs
another
as they can.
defense on Laundry and Piano. We saw it won. We saw it lost.
Attackers have located a bomb.
I wonder how it will turn out this time. Choosing to go again with the bandit is Ben. Realizing that with Thatcher on the board, it's just not worth it to try and bend a trick. It's just not worth to try and K-trick. Last time he tried bandit tricking, he succeeded quite well over on the electrical wall in the party bomb site. So hopefully that will turn out again the same. Genio deciding maybe the Cav is not a good play and is choosing to go for a Solus instead. An absolutely unbelievable run out to shoot a drone when somebody had spawned there. I mean, it did. Not on my watch, this Genio about the drone. I mean, that was very, very risky, and it could have turned out a lot worse than it did. I don't know how worth it was to risk your life like that for a drone, but I guess very, considering that he is still alive and well. They will be going for this wall yet again. Ben unable to trick it, and a huge peek onto Stone to take out the Gridlock. The Gridlock is a huge operator, actually. Well, a very important one, not huge in terms of size. She's very, very important, and those track stingers do some damage, are very loud sound cue as well. There goes Unfriendly, killing Big. That is a huge pick, however, not as big as some other ones could have maybe been. That is a pretty hard-hitting gun, the Vector Gondo, and a lot of information being gained on these defenders. Genio moving around below could be the one causing trouble. He has eyes on the breach. That's the Sledge walking in, doing a lot of damage onto Biggie. Genio just looking away at the exact wrong moment. It's Unfriendly with another kill. Genio from below to take out Dentist, and we're back on even ground and make that a 2v3. Make it a 2v2 once more as Genio takes out Counter with a big headshot from below. These rounds are moving very, very quickly. I don't think we've seen the round reach less than 30 seconds so far. Unfriendly with another kill. That's a quad for Unfriendly to take out Genio. He will have to ace. But Genio knows exactly where he is. And no ace for Unfriendly in a 1v1 against Danskin. Genio has some information. What is he doing? He's trying to go for... He tried to pick up the rook plates into the absolute worst possible moment ever. It is Danskin with a kill through the wall to win the round for Team Doc. So I guess exactly what I said. Team Doc want to be winning these rounds. But oh my god, not like that. What in the god? That is exactly why you should not get tunnel visioned in Siege, because that is exactly what Genio did. Genio got tunnel visioned on that Rook armor. He realized that he didn't have any. He realized that there was some on the ground, and why shouldn't I pick it up? Well, that is exactly why you shouldn't. Because then you lose the round. So, in future, Genio, could you, not get tunnel visioned? Especially considering the fact that they had a Thunderbird, so the little bit of damage that he had, received, he could have fixed by just going up to Kona Station.
5 seconds to insertion.
And he was going up against Diana, who is a 3-speed. Oh, no, never mind. They're both 2 speeds. Well, in any case, that was a stupid play from Genio. And I personally will never let him live that down. And I don't think that you should either. If you're currently watching this stream, never let Genio live down the absolute bullshit that round was. And this round is going to get opened up swiftly and quickly by the Thermite Thatcher combo. Ben deciding, you know what, fuck this about the bandit, and is just going straight in with a mute instead to try and deny some of that information that they've been gaining quite a lot on the defenders, and instead just going for somebody that has a pretty good kit in terms of their guns. Big with this Frost inside of bathroom loses that gunfight against Stoned, and Stone doing much better than he did in the previous game, where he felt a little bit down that he was not doing much and got only like 1 kill or something. Currently doing much better already, leading his team in kills and matching the lobby leaders as well. Still engaging with the Aruni at the top of yellow stairs. Those default cams again coming around to bite everybody in the ass. Genio getting droned out as he is literally on cams. Why is this the most riveting content right now, as Ben gets killed with the shotgun. Genio! Oh my god, why is Genio throwing like this? I think this will be Danskin with the kill! Oh my god, Danskin whiffs. Danskin whiffs, but he has to have this against Genio, who I don't understand for what reason is just sitting on cams for the entire round, and there goes Danskin with the kill onto Genio, who had spent that entire round on cams. I am amazed at the things that Genio is able to do when playing Siege. That mirror window could be the playmaker here for these defenders, but never mind, because it's countered to delete ship off the face of the earth, leaving Ben all to his lonesome. That shotgun in hand, plant going down. He has no idea the Dentist is on the bomb chassis, and it's Dentist to win another round for Team Doc, leaving this half at an even split for both teams. That was a huge round for Team Doc. Team Doc picking up a lot of momentum now. I think that was 3 rounds in a row that they won. Or it was at least 2 rounds in a row that they won. And they are now going on to the defensive side, which tends to be more favorable on Outback, which could seriously spell trouble for Team Cav if they are not careful, or if they keep having Genio do the things that he's been doing.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Going for a party office defense first, deciding to not even try to defend Laundry and Piano, because they just saw how easy it is to attack that site, and I completely agree. I think this is probably the worst site on the map,
Located a bomb.
just because of how easy it is to attack. I mean, once that wall is open and you've got some pressure set up on yellow and terrace, the turn's pretty much over for, well, everyone, but it's pretty much over for the defenders. So I think it's probably the most, I mean, it's the most rewarding site to win, I think. Well, apart from the kitchen. I mean, if you... Actually, the kitchen site's not even that bad, I'll say. I've played it a lot. It's not even that bad, but, you know, I guess... There goes Genio down into a spawn peek from... that might not have been a spawn peek, or it might have been, I don't know. But in any case, Genio is off the board immediately. Danskin joining the kill leaders so far. With 7 for himself as well. And I would bet that at least 5 of those are on Genio. They will be trying to get this wall, but that is unfriendly on the Cade, trying to trick them. And I think that they will succeed at opening up the wall. Unfriendly, unable to even escape as they get that wall open and do a lot of damage onto him. A little bit of chip damage being done to Ben. I do believe that that is from the electrification of the wall. Unfriendly, unable to hold on to that. But as I said before, this still doesn't really spell demise for the defense, because even when you have this wall open, if you've got people holding onto electrical, there's really nothing that you can do with that. So they still have a lot of prep to do from everywhere else on the site, and with so many of those Valkyrie camps, this might be a lot harder than it may look. That drone spotting out 2 of them, but it does get swiftly taken out, and that really brings the drone count quite low for the attackers. They've got 1 in play at the moment, and 2 still in pocket of... Wait, what? How the hell is that? That doesn't even make any sense. Oh, I guess because one of Genio's is still alive. Never mind. They've still got 2 in pocket of Ben. And Genio's drones, I guess, are worth something, but they are worth nothing when Genio, the only dead person, is not even watching them and is instead spectating Ben. For some reason, it is Ben to get a kill onto counters, so I guess that was the reason to be spectating him. A quick trade from Danskin onto Big. Trade back from Biggie onto Unfriendly. And it's Ben to get another onto Stone. Suddenly, this is looking like a much different game. It's all up to Danskin and Dentist, but Danskin gets a 3K, make that a 4K. And they know exactly where the last one is, and that is an ace for Danskin to win this round for Team Doc, and Team Doc on an absolute roll so far, winning 4 rounds in a row. What a match so far, and an ace from Danskin to really pick up the lead with the kills. I will say that that ace was made possible by Genio dying first to a spawn peak, so thank you, Genio. You are always here to support our players and their aces. You are a real one. Seriously.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
And this time, after that wonderful ace and a really well-played round from Team Doc, they are going to go for a laundry and piano defense. I already said that it's a pretty difficult site to defend, and I stand by that, but they might be running on a little bit of a confidence high after that round. Or they might just like this site. It is also kind of a fan favorite from a lot of people. Also, in case you wanted to know how to get on top of that banister, you have to destroy the flower that is inside of this blue pot, and then destroy only a little bit of the sides of the pot, and then sort of wiggle yourself on top of that, and then on top of the banister, and then you get a really cheeky angle onto the bottom of the yellow stairs, which is really difficult to counter. And is very, very rewarding. But it does take a little bit of time, and if you fuck it up on the pot, then you might not have a good time. And they will be using this statue to try and get this wall opened up. I don't think Unfriendly is going to be trying to defend it any more than just putting those Cade claws on the wall to begin with. Genio, in a very early engagement against Dentist, inside of Bull, he will be joining himself in, which is a rare sight from Genio, but a welcome one for sure. Genio narrowly avoiding death there as he walks in front of the game's window. He will be moving away. The rest of the attackers all stacked up on this breach, but nothing really to do with it because they are not gaining any sort of pressure from yellow stairs, and it is Ben outside the breach that gets downed. They are trying to shoot him through the drone hole as well. And it is a Pokeball kill from Danskin to enough to get a kill. Vig pushes in, gets unfriendly. Now it's 4v4.
Recovered the diffuser.
Those footholds ended up hurting them more than they helped them. Genio and Vig with both to get themselves a kill and put themselves even further on the board. Stone the next one to get down, and it's all down to counter. Make that all down to a downed Stone, who I don't know if he knows that he can pick himself up. Currently blind and now dead as Team Cav win themselves another round. We are back to even Stevens. Going into round 9 at 4 rounds apiece. I think that is a perfect example of why Laundry Piano is so difficult to defend. As soon as they've established a little bit of presence from elsewhere on the map, apart from that breach, which they did as soon as they started pushing into games, the round's pretty much over for you. Because there's not that many places where you can go to hide, where you're not going to get pinched. And if you're losing those 1v1s, then there's really not much you can do. So great job there from Team Doc to establish, from Team Cat to establish presence in more areas than one, and to get this round on the board for themselves and to keep this in tow. I will say, this match and the one previous, so Comp Scrims 8 and 9, have been extremely close. A lot of back and forth. We saw it go Maxo Key last match. Could we see a repeat of that tonight again? No.
10 seconds to insertion.
I don't know, but I would love to see it. Basically, what that would mean is that the algorithm that we've got set in place for picking teams, because of course, the way that it works in Seismic, anybody that signs up for a Scrim gets to play in the Scrim, regardless of their skill level or who they know or who they don't know or how they play, whatever, right? There's really no rules. There's some rules if you've, like, gotten, for whatever reason, a participation ban, which are rare and don't happen all that often. But generally, anybody that signs up gets to play. So there's no pre-made stacks, there's no pre-made teams, and you can't choose who your teammates will be. The teams are chosen by an algorithm that we've got set in place. The algorithm works based on a value called seismic expected player performance. That C4 misses. Danskin and Unfriendly both make their way inside of his sight. It's Ben to lose a gunfight against, or it's Stone to lose a gunfight against Ben as he makes his way inside of dorms now as well. It is that Banshee that gives away Unfriendly, but that does give away Biggie. He does lose the gunfight against Unfriendly as well. All down to Ben and Chip now. Only 75 seconds of the round have gone. That impact grenade from below does a lot of damage onto Ben, and it's Unfriendly to get the kill. It's a Claymore to pick up Unfriendly, and it's all down to Chip now. From a really unsuspecting angle, Chip is now down to just 1 HP, and another run out from Dentist gets the round for Team Doc. What a round, what a round. Team Doc take the lead again. But as I was saying, the Seismic Expected Player Performance is a value made up of a whole bunch of other stats, like your cost, your player rating, your kills, your deaths, your entry kills and deaths, blah, 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 blah. A whole bunch of other stuff that we have been tracking over the past year and something in Seismic for every single competitive Scrim. And what that does is then all of that is combined and then divided and then set up on an average, and those values then decide the teams, so that both of the teams have the same average Seismic Expected Player Rating, or SEP. And for the first couple of scrims, I think it was a lot worse because we didn't really have the algorithm completely set in place, and SEP was a little bit inaccurate for a few people. But now, the more that we keep using it, and the more that we keep updating those stats, which the stats get updated every single scrim, thanks to the wonderful and
Seconds left.
I was gonna say nerdy, but I don't know if that's a little bit mean, considering that he is doing this voluntarily. So the wonderful Jordan, who keeps track of those stats after
Attackers
every
are
scrim.
heading out to defuse a bomb.
I don't know what the hell is going on in all chat. If you can decipher that, good job. I'm not reading it, so yeah. Thanks to Jordan, we have these stats available to us to be able to figure out these values, and then based on those values, we set up teams. And of course, the way that we test out whether the algorithm works is whether the games end up going to max overtime, because that means that it was a really big tug of war, and that it was a lot of back and forth and blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff. Considering that the most previous game went to max overtime, and then we had a 7-3, and then there was an overtime game on Skyscraper, and then now it's looking like it might go to overtime again. It's really starting to look like this algorithm is getting more and more set in place, and I think Unfriendly going for a run out now might be victim to Ben on the blitz, and that is exactly what happened. Ben droned him out, found him out, and knows exactly where he is. And a bit of an engagement here with the Jaeger. Does a lot of damage to counter, but not enough to down him, and not enough to kill him either. It is Genio elsewhere in an engagement against Danskin, loses the gunfight, unfortunately, and that's not just the diffuser gun, but also their Ying, who could have been a huge playmaker, especially considering that the defenders do not have a Warden on board. Bringing two operators that can do whatchamacallit. Oh, and Danskin with a 3K to take out Ben with a C4. Suddenly, it's not looking so good after their initial pick. It's all down to Stoned as Vig and Biggie both get themselves a kill. It's Vig doing a lot of damage onto Stoned and finally finishes him off. Team Cav take another round, and we are back to even Stevens. 5-5. What a match. But this is exactly what I was talking about. Back and forth. One round, then another round goes to the other ones, then another round, then another, and it just keeps going. And I think that is a true proof, I guess, that the algorithm that we have set in place with the set value is working, and is working splendidly. Of course, the way we used to do it was team captains, which is very playground-like and not at all competitive. And it ended up with a lot of really mismatched teams where one game you would have a 7-0, then the next one it'd be full, like, max overtime, then it would be 7-3, then it'd be max overtime. It was just all over the place. There wasn't really, you couldn't really rely on anything. It was just, like, hoping that it would turn out well. But this way we actually get to achieve a more of an even playing ground. And especially the more that you keep playing in seismic scrims, because obviously we only count seismic stats, not any outside stats from any leagues that you might be playing in. Your ranked games, your casual games, whatever, none of that is counted. Only your seismic scrim experience is counted. And the more that you keep playing well, the more accurate your SEP will become, and therefore we will be able to sort you into teams more accurately. And the same goes for every player. The more that everyone plays, the better the stats for us get, and the better our teams get. This wall looks like it will be getting opened up by Chip and Ben. It'll be Stoned attempting to bandit trick. And it looks like he will successfully do that on one side, but unfortunately is unable to do it on the other. So a little bit of that wall will get opened up. And it is Unfriendly with the first skill onto Ben. That means that final summer charge is now gone. Danskin with the kill onto Biggie. And this is looking a lot better now for these defenders, despite that while getting opened up so soon, Genio gives himself away now by shooting that Legion goo mine. But I don't think that he has been spotted out yet. And coming up these shark stairs, this could be a playmaker as Unfriendly takes out Vig. Genio gives himself away now once again. He knows there's somebody in Bull. They have information, but he can't get the shot. It's Danskin to clean him up instead, and it's now all down to Chip. So far, only one kill on the board. It's the Thatcher. It's not really an operator you want in a clutch, and that's a flawless round for Team Doc as Danskin cleans up and picks up the final kill. That is Team Doc now on match point. This is the round that decides whether we go to overtime or whether Team Doc take it all. Oh, hell if I remember what the teams were last time. I was going to say that this might be the second win tonight for somebody, but I don't know who won last time. I think it might have been Dentist who was in the winning team. Actually, yeah, he clutched up the final round of the last game. So, this could be Dentist's second win of the night. Dentist, the real top guy, the real winner, the guy, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying half the time that I'm saying it. Back to Piano Laundry they go. I don't believe they've won it yet. I think they've lost it every time they tried to defend it.
Attackers have discovered the
Or did they win it? I wish I could remember things. I will repeat what I said in the previous game as well, when I couldn't remember anything. This happens when I have to cast and observe at the same time, and then I can't keep notes. And then I don't remember anything that happens, ever. So, if I had a dedicated observer that would observe for me, and then I could cast, and then I could do notes, then this would be a lot easier to keep track of. But of course, I could just check the scoreboard to find out who won, but that doesn't tell me what the site was. So I guess that also wouldn't help. In any case, this wall will be getting opened up pretty swiftly, I do believe, by Chip and Genio. The Thatcher Thermite combo, and was stoned again trying to bandit trick, but unfortunately was unsuccessful. Has to run away to this hatch corner, and it's Unfriendly to go down next at the hands of Biggie. Stone now droned out, could be in serious trouble. But they have no idea. I don't think the communication was there. Stone gets two-piece there. Genio finally trades him out, but that took a little too long, and he managed to get a two-piece off of that when they droned him out and knew he was there. It is Genio in the next engagement against Danskin. Still cannot kill Danskin. Danskin on the cusp of getting another 20. Whiffs just a little bit onto Chip, and there goes Ben. At the hands of counter, again, all down to Chip. So far in so many 1vx's, unable to clutch them, unable to really get that many kills. Another run out being prepped, those impact grenades being thrown out to get rid of any claymores. He knows there's one inside of Bull. There's not much he can do. Minute left on the clock against 3 of them. He could win this, but it's looking unlikely, especially with so many run-out potentials. And there goes Danskin for his 20th to win this game. GG, well played. Thank you all for watching. This will be the final scrim of the night, at least as far as I'm concerned. If they want to play another one, I will not be casting it. But thank you all for watching, and bye-bye.